Good morning, my dear students. Today, in DP or Democratic Politics, we are going to start a new chapter, that is working of institutions. Children, democracy is not just about people electing their rulers. In a democracy, the rulers have to follow some rules and procedures. They have to work with and within the institution. Children, in this chapter, we are going to study about the working of such institutions in a democracy. We will try to understand how major decisions are implemented, how disputes regarding the decisions are resolved, how one institution connected to the other institutions, what make its functioning more or less democratic. Children, the basic objective here is to understand how all these institutions together carry on the work of government. Sometimes we compare these with the similar institutions in other democracies. In this chapter, we take our examples from the working of national government called central government or just government of India. Before we start this chapter, let's see what we are going to study in this chapter, what topics we are going to study in this chapter. Office Memorandum, Mandal Commission, oppositions against the Mandal Commission, and the political institutions. In the political institutions, we are going to study about the parliament, and in the parliament, the two houses, Rajya Sabha and the Lok Sabha, then the executive and judiciary. Now children, today we will be taking the office memorandum, Mandal Commission and opposition against the Mandal Commission. Children, on August 13, 1990, the Government of India issued an order. It was called an office memorandum. Office memorandum means a communication issued by an appropriate authority stating the policy or the decisions of the government. Children, the Joint Secretary, an officer in the Department of Personnel and Training in the Ministry of Personnel, Public Grievances and Pension, signed an order. It was quite short, barely one page. It looked like an ordinary circular. The government issued hundreds of orders every day on different matters. But this one was very important and became a source of controversy for several years. Children, in this order this order announced a major policy decision. It said that 27% of the vacancies in the civil post and the services under the Government of India are reserved for socially and educationally backward classes, SEBC, means socially and educationally backward classes. SEBC is another name for all those people who belong to castes that are considered backward by the government. The benefit of job reservation was till then available only to scheduled castes and scheduled tribes. Now a new third category called SEBC was introduced. Only person who belongs to the backward caste are eligible for this quota of 27% job. Others could not compete for these jobs. Now children, because of this, there was a controversy for several years. Let us see how the decision was taken and what happened later. Children, who decide to issue this memorandum? Clearly, such a big decision could not have been taken by the person who signed that document. The officer was merely implementing the instructions given by Ministers of Personnel, Public Grievances and the Pension, of which the department was a part. We can guess that Such a major decision would have involved other major functionaries in our country. We have already read in the previous classes about some of them. Let's see the main points that we have covered there. President is the head of the state and is the highest formal authority in the country. Then, Prime Minister is the head of the government and actually exercises all the governmental powers. He takes most of the decisions in the cabinet meetings. And Parliament consists of two houses, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. The Prime Minister must have the support of the majority of Lok Sabha members. Children, the office memorandum was the culmination of long chain of events. The Government of India had appointed the Second Backward Class Commission in 1979. Children, once again, listen this. The Government of India had appointed the Second Backward Classes Commission in 1979. It was headed by B.P. Mandal. Hence, it was popularly known as Mandal Commission. It was asked to determine the criteria to identify the socially and educationally backward classes in India and recommended steps to be taken for their advancement. Then, children, the commission gave its report in 1980. 1979, this commission was set up, and in 1980, the commission gave its report and made many recommendations. One of these was that 27% of government jobs be reserved for socially and educationally backward classes. The report and the recommendations were discussed in Parliament. Children, for several years, many parliamentarians and the parties kept demanding the implementation of the Commission recommendations. Then came the Lok Sabha elections in 1989. In its election manifesto of Janata Dal promised that if voted to power, it would implement the Mandal Commission report. The Janata Dal did form the government after this election. Its leader VP Singh became the Prime Minister. Several developments took place after that. On 6th August 1990, the Union Cabinet took a formal decision to implement the recommendations. The decision of the Cabinet was sent to the Department of Personnel and Training. The senior officers of the department drafted an order in line with the Cabinet decisions and took the Minister's approval. An officer signed the order on behalf of the Union Government. This was how OM number 36012/31/90 was born on August 13, 1990. Children, because of this memorandum, for the next few months, this was the most hotly debated issue in the country. Newspapers and magazines were full of different views and opinion on this issue. It led to the widespread protest and counter-protest, some of which were violent. People reacted strongly because this decision affected thousands of job opportunities. Some felt that existence of inequalities among people of different castes in India necessitated job reservations. They felt this would give a fair opportunity to those communities who so far had not adequately been represented in the government employment. Others felt that this was unfair as it would deny equality of opportunity to those who did not belong to backward communities. They would be denied job even though they could be more qualified. Some felt that this would perpetuate caste feelings among people and hamper national unity. In this chapter, we won't discuss whether the decision was good or bad. Children, we only take this example to understand how major decisions are taken and implemented in the country. Now, children, who resolve these disputes? We know that the Supreme Court and the High Court in India settle disputes arising out of governmental decisions. Some persons and associations opposed to this order filed a number of cases in the courts. They appealed to the courts to declare the order invalid and stop its implementation. The Supreme Court of India bunched all these cases together. This case was known as Indira Sahwani and other versus Union of India case. 11 judges of the Supreme Court heard arguments of both the sides by a majority. The Supreme Court judges in 1992 declared that this order of the Government of India was valid. At the same time, the Supreme Court asked the government to modify its original order. It said that well-to-do persons among the backward classes should be excluded from getting the benefits of reservations. According to the Department of Personnel and Training issued another office memorandum on September 8, 1993. The disputes thus came to an end and this policy has been followed since then. That's all for today, children. Thank you and have a nice day.